Hey everybody, how's it? Good afternoon, huh? Usually it's a morning rinse cycle, but just went out and I mowed my lawn, did the meditative thing, go outside, mowed the lawn, cleaned up everything. And I came back in here and I was chilling. I got nothing to do because I was recording all night last night for a new backing track. Well, somehow I get to my system here and I'm looking something up and pops up in my browser, SEPTICFLESH. And I went, wow, I don't think I've done another one from those guys. So I looked on my list, and there was like 4 requests, both from the channel and from Patreon. So obviously I popped one from Patreon. And this one is from the album Modern Primitive. And the name of the track is Coming Storm. So like usual, thank you so much for your support. No cup of coffee right now. I need to rehydrate. Us senior citizens, we need to constantly keep hydrated. So I got my grandson's cup of water. But hey, if you want to support me and buy a bottle of water, you know where the links are. Oh shit, I should turn off my phone. All right, guys, let's do this. This is SEPTICFLESH, Coming Storm. All right. This is an incredible, glorious nightmare of a composition, like if Beethoven was on a heroic dose of like mushrooms kind of vibe. I am so blown away by the production and composition on this. I don't recall that the very first SEPTICFLESH that I did had orchestrations in it before, otherwise it would have made this kind of an impact. But this is incredible, especially the respect and the use of dynamics for their string section is phenomenal. Whoever did this, if you're listening, oh my goodness, hats off, man, just world class. I'm not worthy, because it's one of the most difficult things to take one of the most finesseful, beautiful instruments as string instruments and compose and arrange them and execute it in a way and join it with such incredibly powerful metal and those throaty vocals and still have an organic impact. I don't know if all that made sense, but that just was a stream of consciousness that just poured out. I loved the opening. Caught me off guard because they were using a very unique dynamic with the strings to get that very unique kind of light contact kind of vibe. There's also a technique where you actually turn the bow over where it's the wood, not the, the horsehair, the hair side of the bow, and bounce it and click it and stuff like that. I think that's what they were doing there. But as I was listening to that, excuse me, then I got caught off guard with the explosion of metal. You probably saw me jump. And what I love is where they push the guitars really forcefully above the level of the drums slightly, but yet you're not losing any of this other intricate, spiccato type playing of the strings. Very aggressive, very short strokes and stuff like that. Then, for a minute, I start to kind of glow into the power of everything that's being played, and what a killer vocal performance. But then you get that little vocal, and I go, no, that's not a real voice, is it? And I had to listen. I was so into listening, and then I can hear a breath, and just when that, I'm dialing into that emotional kind of respite, if you would, in this track, they hit again with stuff. I'm gonna have to check for skids. But and then this last section was absolutely huge. Once again, with respect to the power of the strings through this. This is just extraordinary. I got to go back about 30 seconds so I can, glow into this one section. So stand by. See if I'm going to do this right. I'll go back to here. All right, here we go. Okay, I know we're gliding into a section here. I got to stop for a second. That was an amazing passage. That was an excellent expose of the power of a brass section. The brass section, trumpets, trombones, tubas, French horns, saxophones, just the incredible power that was just used, and still with the respect of the orchestration was phenomenal. This is probably one of the best mixes I've ever heard of an intense metal sound with an orchestral composition. It's just absolutely mind-numbingly wonderful. I'm pumped. I think I'm gonna go mow my neighbor's lawn.
I met her.
damn, that was just absolutely, completely, 100% unexpected, and I am just blown away. Plus 20 fire damage on this because I think I get a little snobby, though I never really put it out there when it comes to when I hear bands that utilize orchestras. And you know that usually when I do my reactions, I'm always very positive on stuff. So I've never heard a bad one, like going, oh my God, they shouldn't have done that. But without a doubt, this was one of the most powerful and best represented mixes of heavy metal and orchestral works I've ever heard. And I've heard quite a few, and there's different dynamics too. This was extremely, extremely aggressive, where I've heard other bands like, is it Behemoth, and also some Dream Theater stuff, and where they use orchestras, but with the intensity and the velocity of which this had this kind of glorious, hellish kind of vibe. I haven't heard anything like this ever, and so. If anybody from Septic Flesh or your management team sees this, please get a hold of me. I want to do a podcast either with the band or one of the band members or the composer of this, because this was extraordinary, and there's probably a huge story behind that. Just like that podcast I did with Marty O'Donnell on my other channel from Halo, the composer. There's a big story behind that one point that we recognize an individual or a band or an artist for something, so I'd love to get a podcast on that. And then finally, what I want to say, I should have done this the other way around, but I want to say I love how they just closed this up with more of the vocals and gave it more of that theatrical kind of thing. There was a couple points too where I was thinking, my God, this could be an incredible video game track, vocals and all, because I started diving into video games on my other channel and listening to Doom work, from Mick Gordon, and I was like, but this could this was extraordinary. I was not expecting that. I was so pumped. So I'm sorry it took so long to get back to Septic Flesh. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed my energy because usually I'm pumped on coffee, but I'm glad I had the water to cool me off, and be it my grandson's cup, there's always a Geebz kind of look right there. And that's the way I'm feeling right now. Thank you guys so much. You know how to support me in the channel. The link's down below. You see that little heart thing, super share thing, and you got a Google account too. You can click on that and drop in a couple bucks if you want to support the channel. All right, guys, take care. See ya. That was fucking unbelievable.